Some people on the cast say that I should copy this onto some of my other Discords. I'm going to put it on my survival channel, prepping for sure. My knife channel, and I'll even throw it on Boosted Laser, my main gaming channel. There's been a long talk about some things, hours, and I'm not going to bore most of you with it. Don't listen to my good stuff. This is a legit life hack that none of you have heard of. I could make this hours, but I won't. I know I always say I'm going to make it short, but it's 5:40 in the morning. So I'm going to do a quick recap for people. If you get a cut or scrape or have a pretty serious wound, most of you would grab perhaps alcohol, isopropyl. Alcohol kills germs. Some of you would grab hydrogen peroxide. It kills germs. My mom used to use it. Some of you might have various medical sprays in a med kit that you might grab to go under various names. Years ago, these substances were used. Do they kill germs? Yes. And there's other ones that do. Do they cause harm? We found out recently, and by we, I mean modern science, somewhat recently. I don't mean yesterday, but in the last several years, alcohol, rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, all the alcohols, hydrogen peroxide, various medical sprays, not just can they cause some damage, and they do, and they hurt, they fucking sting when you put them on. They can actually, and they do actually, slow healing down. Now, I'm dumbing this down for those of you without a chemistry degree or biochem. Take my word for it. Now, you could look into this if you wish, but what I am telling you is 100% fact. It will slow down or stop healing if you use any of those old school substances. I'm going to fast forward now. When Corona was going strong, you might have seen companies, you may have seen on the news or in the paper, or even perhaps where you work, workers come in with sprayers, usually on a backpack, very, very similar to a sprayer that a gardener would use to apply poisons, pesticides to flowers, vegetables, etc. Fertilizer on your lawn. Just a simple sprayer. They would go into businesses, movie theaters, maybe AT&T, Amazon, anywhere. You can find vids on YouTube of certain countries, especially China, where they would fog the shit out of a building. They would get the people out, more on that in a moment, and you'll find plenty of videos of people with backpack sprayers, some of them electric or even gas-powered, and just fogging rooms. And this stuff would kill everything, including coronavirus. Now, some of you might just say, yo, N-word, can't you just use Lysol? Well, Lysol is very nasty stuff. Does it kill over 90% of germs? Probably close to 99. Yes. But you don't want it around food. You don't want it to get on you. You don't want to touch it and rub your eyes. It's a very nasty stuff. And although it is semi-safe, that shit is dangerous. So, how are all of these companies worldwide dealing with coronavirus? Well, there's a chemical none of you have ever heard of called hypochloric acid. It's actually made by manufacturers rather easy through electrolysis with salt, it doesn't matter, and pure water. It's very easy to make. This is a substance that is in your body naturally in white blood cells. When you have a problem, a cut, a scrape, an infection, some kind of issue in your body makes this. This is a natural substance. Hospitals use this exact acid. The brand will vary. Now, I'll tell you why I have this brand up in a moment. There's many names that this brands that have this. Basically, they vary on concentration. Now, you might say, damn, well, I want the strongest shit possible. You can get it so strong, it actually might be irritating, and it doesn't kill, it doesn't work any better than a lesser concentration, meaning there's a magic number. Hypochloric acid is completely safe. It is food safe, and it is literally used in hospitals, baby wards, cancer wards, everywhere. Think of Lysol or whatever disinfectant you use, except safe. Food safe, baby safe, eye safe, lung safe. It doesn't cause cancer. It may even have positive effects, but they don't talk about that. Just jumping around a little, women, some of them, the hot ones, who buy all kinds of creams and jellies for their face, mostly their face and their body, they buy hypochloric acid to remove blemishes, get rid of red spot itchiness, and a whole host of things on their face and neck. They get little tiny bottles that have between... I looked quickly and I've seen tiny little bottles, couple ounces, depending on what brand it is, between $20 and $300 for this magical stuff that makes your face nice if you're a girl. Here it is in bulk. You can actually get it a little bit cheaper. I've seen it as low. I just happen to be on this page. I've seen it for, I think, $13 and change. This is not a terrible price. And you might be able to, get a code, and I think there is. I know, being in the hospital personally, they used this stuff on me every single day when I was there, under another name, which is Vashe, V-A-S-H-E, which is about 10 times the cost. It's no different. It's no better. It's just more expensive. And it works. And when I had terrible, horrendous wounds and gouges and bullet holes, this stuff was sprayed in, and it got rid of pain, and it got rid of itching and just annoyingness of wounds, and it kills everything, and it makes it heal faster. So unlike those old school products that stop healing or slow it down tremendously, this stuff makes it heal faster. Now, again, this is food safe, pet safe. You can buy hypochloric acid from Chewy, Chewy, which is like a pet Costco. I don't have a pet, but I know the place. And you're going to spend probably $32 a gallon. It's a good formula. I actually had it, and it works great, and it does everything it should. And it's a good place to get it if you have any codes. But at the end of the day, why spend $32 or $100 or $300 a gallon when you could get it for 15 or 16 bucks? It's the same stuff. In fact, this is actually, I'm not going to say what I was thinking. This stuff is fine and this stuff is great. My opinion, for what it's worth, I looked at probably 12 brands, and I think this is the best bang for the buck. And you might say, but could I pay a little extra and it'll work better? Not really. There's just so much you need, and more is just kind of overkill. There's actually one that is stronger, and it's probably double the money. And I would say you'd have to get it and dilute it and do it the right way. And by the time you did that, it's just easier to buy this stuff. This will replace Lysol. Not stink up your house. I rather like the smell. One question, yes, go. Yes, it's the exact stuff you're talking about. So she said that she got it for her face and paid $49 for 4 ounces from some makeup company. And it works great. It got rid of redness and acne and itching, and spelled incorrectly, but I think she meant eczema. Does this affect eczema? Yes. It will reduce inflammation of various types. It is antiviral, anti-worm, antibacterial. Parasites don't like it. So if you have any kind of weirdness going on in your skin, it will take care of it. Again, this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor, not this kind of doctor. But what I'm saying is a fact. This is for entertainment purposes only. Use at your own risk. You can research it. Just type in hypochloric acid into Google and you'll see that it's totally safe and it does what I say and more. They use it on babies. You can spray it on your feet, and it's good for the funk. Men can spray it on their balls, and women can spray it on that sneaky pouch. Should I be a little nicer? The girly taco, the vajayjay. It will kill smells and the funk and bacteria and fungus just about instantly. As for the smell, none that I've seen are scented. I don't know if they sent ones for girly face spray. I hope not. It vaguely smells like if you're 10 foot away from a very clean jacuzzi or pool. I wouldn't say bleach or chlorine exactly, but ish. That's the best time. It smells pool-ish, but this goes away very quickly. If you were to just spray it all over yourself, you would smell like you just got out of a pool for 2 minutes, and then it dissipates. Just to give you an idea. So it's a, I don't know, fresh and clean smell to me. One could also use this on your hair. Unless you're a 1 in a million lucky person, everyone has something going on with their scalp. Whether it's dandruff or inflammation or itchiness or a whole host of things. You don't have to wash your hair in it. You don't have to pour gallons. I have it in a little spray bottle that I got from Amazon, just like a spray bottle. I like an amber or a dark one. You don't want chemicals to get hit by light fully. So if you get a spray bottle for any chemical, I like a dark amber, just dark enough so it keeps most of the light out, but a little bit see-through so you can see how much liquid is in it. This stuff is similar to water. It's not thick. like honey or anything. You can spray it on your hair, and number one, rub it into the scalp. It's probably a little easier if you have short man hair. I was going to say something else. I'll be nice. But it would certainly work on a woman with long hair. You just spray some on, and any itchiness, it will kill. There is definitely germs on your scalp, whether you know it or not. It will help your hair stay clean longer and not smell bad. They don't talk about this at great length, but if you were to really research, which I have, and I've talked to manufacturers, I'm not making any medical claims. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. It may cause hair growth, thickening of the hair, or a nicening of the hair. You're not going to wake up a werewolf. Don't worry. Mommy, what's a werewolf? Shut up and comb your face. I used that joke one day on a streamer you all know. Anyway, so it has very positive effects. Now, as it kills bacteria and fungus and all kinds of yucky things, here's another thing it's great for: the armpits. I could do a whole video on antidepressants. 1 second, I'm getting a text. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Antiperspirants and deodorants. You don't ever want to use an antiperspirant because the chemicals in there definitely cause cancer, mental issues that you don't want, a host of them. Alzheimer's, bad things. Most deodorants are okay, most of them, but not an antiperspirant. You at all costs don't want to use those. They're bad news. So how do you treat bajo kili kili? See, there's no Filipinos here, but they know what I just fucking said. Ask a flip what that means. Bajo kili kili. Somebody's laughing. How do you know that? Shout out to chat. You can have it in a spray bottle. I suppose you could do this other ways also. But one little quick spritz under the armpits, and if you are funky from the gym or whatever, work, life, whatever, one little spritz and it kills everything safely, and it's good for your skin. It stops inflammation. So this is great stuff to have, to keep the body nice and clean and free from funk. Like I say, men, you can spray it on your balls. Girls, you can spray it all over. I use it for cleanliness. I actually wipe when I have a bowel movement. I won't be gross here. With baby wipes, I use Costco. Short story, because a friend of mine years ago who had kids said, "Yo, man, you still wiping with toilet paper or tissues?" And I was like, yeah, what else? Unless I'm in one of the places with the bidet. This is the water fountain things you sit on that spray your ass. He's like, dude, I ran out of paper one day and there was baby stuff, so I grabbed a baby wipe. Not just was it way cleaner, it didn't irritate my butt, and it smelled nice, and I was like, this guy's crazy. I was at his house one day. That wasn't a giggle. I was at his house one day, and I've never pooped at his house before then, but that day I had to, yada yada. I saw the baby wipes, wasn't a giggle, on the counter, and I used one when, oh, this is great. I'm way cleaner, no irritation. And if you have the runs or something, if you've ever been irritated down there or even bled from pooping 35 times in a day, That doesn't happen with baby wipes. Well, what did I do? I took the baby wipes out of the package it comes in from Costco, and I just cut it open with a scissor or a knife, and I put it in a 1 gallon Ziploc bag in every bathroom I have now. I even keep some with me in a folded up, maybe 4 or 5, in a 1 quart Ziploc bag in my chest rig or my daily bag that I keep with me. And I simply poured some of the hypochloric acid liquid in the towels. So in the case of pooping at home, they're pre-moistened. Even though they already had the baby stuff on them from Costco, they're kind of dry, to be honest with you. Think of these guys as dude wipes, but way better. So you could be at the gym. It could just be the summer. You're going somewhere and it's a little funky. Maybe I'm not a sweaty person, but maybe you're a little moist. Shout out to Jasby and the fish bitch who likes saying moist. Tracy. So if you have a couple of these towels, baby wipes in a little bag, a zippy bag, with just a little bit of this liquid, they don't have to be drowning. You could do a quickie shower in a bathroom, armpits, back of the neck, balls, vagina, ass crack, and you are going to be clean. Fact. I suspect that one could go maybe forever without showering, just using baby wipes with a little bit of this liquid, and your skin would probably like it better. I suspect you would have nicer skin, if I'm being honest. Showers cause medical issues that none of you know, but this is another video. You have to be careful showering. It can reduce your lifespan and cause hundreds of diseases and ailments. Yes, your shower. All of you, whoever hears this. This is another story. So this is good for your face. It is 100% safe. It is used in hospitals. During Corona, they sprayed everything with this. They fug any company that would clean and kill Corona. This is what they use. Some version, some concentration of hypochloric acid, and it works on everything. So I was going to say, should another pandemic happen, when the next pandemic happens, whatever it is the Chinese hit us with next time, this is good stuff. People ask, can you use it on your feet? Yes, your breasts. I already said balls, ass, all of that. You can wipe under your arms. Now, I don't think that this has a lasting effect like, let's say, a deodorant would, a gel. I'm just going to say a name like Right Guard, or what's the one with the boat? Old Navy? What's the one? I can think of the commercial. Old Spice? Yeah, any of these just jelly, nice smelling deodorants, they last a little while, certainly not days or anything, but you can get quite a few hours. I don't suspect that this would last hours. What I mean by that is, let's say your armpits got a little funky and you wiped a little on with a rag, as I previously talked about, or you sprayed it on. It would kill everything, the bacteria, fungus, all these things, and you'll be clean again. But if you go back out in the heat or you exert again, it will come back. It will probably take a little bit longer, but this isn't a persistent thing. That said, very easily, I could make a jelly or a sort of solid version of this, cheap and easy, that would work better than any deodorant. That's a fact. But anyway, yes, I already said that. It's great for the scalp. It will keep your hair cleaner longer. Not forever, but it will definitely extend it. It will smell nicer, but it's really for the scalp. If you have dandruff, if you have eczema, if you just, some people just get itchy fucking heads. This will reduce or even stop it. It can cause hair growth. They don't talk about that too much. There's reasons for that. So any quick questions? By all means, do your research. Just go to Google and type in effective hypochloric acid. Now, not hydrochloric. Sounds similar. It's not that. There's going to be some dummy who thinks he's a chemist that's going to say, dude, all that is diluted bleach. You could just go to the store, get bleach, get a 1-gallon container, put in a tablespoon with some clean water, shake it up, and it's the same thing. No, it isn't. Although there is a similar-ish smell, this is not bleach. This is not hydrochloric acid either. This is a different thing made through electrolysis. It's actually mostly salt, quite honestly. This is made inside your body. Now, this is definitely safe. It's food safe. They use this in cafeterias. They use this in big dining halls. If you were to spray it with an atomizing sprayer and some got on your fork or knife and then dried and you ate with it, I don't know, 10 minutes later, you're not going to get sick, you're not going to die, anything like that. That said, would I spray it so concentrated it was like fog and I couldn't see, and then go and do wind sprints and breathe it in for 10 minutes? No, I probably wouldn't do that. That said, I want to make a statement, but I don't want the medical people coming. Well, I'm not going to continue that thought, but I may not be afraid of doing that personally. So, this shit is very safe. Again, I am a big fan of this exact brand. Don't try to get some other formula. Don't try to second guess. You're going to spend more money. This is just a good deal. This is just a really good deal. I would probably, if there's a deal for more than one bottle, I would get it. But this, honestly, really is a steal. You, of course, look for a code if you get it right from the website. I don't know who else sells it. Maybe Walmart has it, or, just do I haven't done it, and I'm not going to do it right now, but you could just go to Google. This is their this is the company's actual website. And they probably have some deal with shipping, I would think, and I'm sure there is codes. I see something on the bottom, but I'm sure you could just go to Google and put in Zogix code. But even at full price, this is a good deal. 1 or 2 questions, and then I'd like to end this. It's after 6. I'm getting hungry. Yes, I talked about that already. It is the exact same stuff that is in your face serum. I don't know who that is. Is that an expensive brand? Oh, yeah. So she says if you go to a makeup counter in a mall where they have, all of the creams and jellies, they're going to have this by multiple manufacturers, and it's going to be very expensive, which I talked about already. It's no different. It's not special. It's actually probably more diluted, if I'm being honest. They probably have a much weaker version, like half as strong. Yeah, and you just missed it on your face. And for women, because let's be honest, they care more about their complexion than men. Yeah, it does wonderful things for the face for women. You can use it also before or after your makeup remover, and it would be very wonderful. Yes, I'm a big fan of witch hazel, but I'm not going to talk about that in this vid. I have before. Maybe one more question. Why does Chewy sell it? So Chewy is a pet store? Pet supply. I don't know if it's stores somewhere or if it's just on the internet. I really don't know that. Is it like PetSmart or, whatever? They sell it for pets as a disinfectant. If your pet poops or pees on a carpet or furniture, you want to clean it and all that. But there's going to be bacteria. Just hypothetically, let's say your pet pees or poops on the carpet and you have a new baby that's crawling around. You don't want him putting his hands on pee-pee and poo-poo rug and then stick his hands in his mouth or eyes. You can put this in a spray bottle and spray it, and it will kill all of the germs. I mean, if you got chunks of poop, it's not going to dissolve that, right? You got to clean that. But yes, it's baby safe. I'm just looking really quick. Like I said, just go to Google and type in, yes, hypochlorous. Make sure you spell it right because there's several chemicals that are similar. Show this. This is what the bottle's going to look like. How long does it last? Well, I would keep it sealed, tightly. Don't leave it with the lid off. Like anything else, after you open it, maybe after it's made, it's going to slowly get weaker. But I'm not talking like, you might say, dude, it's a gallon. I won't use that in 3 years. Well, you'll be surprised how much you're going to use it, whether you're solo or you have a family. It's going to last a while. And it doesn't go bad and go rancid. It mostly just turns into clean water or saline. So you don't have to worry about going bad and somehow hurting you. Personally, occasionally, my head is not extremely itchy, but occasionally, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I really don't know. I'm thinking I have no reason why. I'll get an itchy head, and I don't just mean one little scratch. I mean like, oh man, my fucking head is itchy. And I will just spray I have short hair. I will spray a couple of spritzes in and kind of rub it into the scalp, and it goes away. I've never had a terrible dandruff problem, but occasionally you get a flake, whether it's a piece of skin or whatever it is. It definitely, I haven't had it since I use this occasionally. I have had friends that had eczema on the scalp, which you can't really see usually because hair is in the way. Extreme itchiness and burning, and it went away. It could have been from viruses, fungus, bacteria, who knows, but this killed it quickly, I think in one day, on people that I've talked to. I use it in the kitchen. One thing that it's great for, now you could use other stuff. One of the grossest things in the world is your cutting board, especially if it's wooden, and a lot of motherfuckers don't thoroughly clean them. It's the grossest thing that you own, by far. If you went to a lab and looked at your cutting board under a microscope, you would throw up, unless you very regularly clean it with certain chemicals, not just rinse it in the sink. It doesn't matter if it's plastic, titanium. Most people have wood or simulated Chinesey wood. Right. You could use other substances that will kill some or most things. Somebody said, dude, hot water is enough. No, it isn't, because hot water that your hands can stand is much cooler than the temperature that kills stuff. Do you understand? Now, I suppose if you were to boil water, put your cutting board in the sink and, dump a pot of boiling water on it, that would help. That would kill a lot of things. But, your knife makes little valleys and little depressions. There's cut marks, and you might think, oh, well, I use my dish detergent and my little scrubby pad, which is fucking disgusting. Believe me, I've seen them magnified. As this stuff is food safe, keeping a bottle in your kitchen is a great thing to do. Use the cutting board, do a quick wash, spray this just psh, psh, on the front, on the back, whatever, and the next time you go to use it, everything will be dead. On your counters, sometimes when you're cooking, those of you that cook, meats or fats or juices will get on your counter. Now, you could use Lysol and various sprays. Some of these sprays, I don't know what people use. Simple Green, Fantastic. I don't know the names of all these things. If you get stuff on your counter in the kitchen where you're cooking, a lot of people have stone or marble or nice looking stone. It might get the look of the spill off, but that doesn't mean it's disinfected and cleaned. This is great after you do a quick wipe, even with a sponge. Yes, exactly. To just spray on, especially if you've had kids or you just don't like gross shit. This can get you sick. People get sick from it all the time. A quick spray psh, on your counter, that's it. You don't have to soak it and scrub it in, just a quick spray. Anything else gross in the kitchen? Yeah, your soap dish. The sponge, if you wash dishes is disgusting. Now, one trick on a moist sponge is to put it in your microwave, depending how strong it is, for 30 seconds to a minute, and that will kill all the germs. You could also just spray it with some of this, and that would be great. So yes, I have it in the kitchen, and I use it for cleaning and disinfecting. Something else that's gross, the handle on your refrigerator. And I'm not a germaphobe, believe me. I'm a guy, and I've lived man-like for a long time, and I've been off-grid and done things. But especially if you have a family, there's some people picking their nose, scratching their balls, who knows, fingering the vajayjay, and their hands are disgusting. And believe me, I don't wash my hands constantly. I don't use sanitizer. But the handle on your refrigerator and freezer is usually gross. So a quick little spray on that, or just wipes. You can make your own wipes or just use like baby wipes. And put a little of this, just pour some on and wipe away, and you'll be good. I definitely use it in the bathroom on my hair if I get an itchy spot, if I get a cut or scrape or something that's a rash or inflamed, an itchy back, whatever. You can use it for that. Yeah, so I have it all over. I don't know about sunburn, but there is inflammation and trouble, so probably it would be good to use it. But I Googled that. I'm really not sure, but it is a medical thing. Some people use it in their ears. Doctors will use it for certain issues in the eyes and on. I am not telling you to take this and squirt it in your eye. But if you read about it, doctors do this for certain things. Probably at a lower concentration. But point being, if you spray it and you're worried it's maybe a tiny droplet's going to get in my eye when I spray it, I wouldn't worry about it. Doctors use it for and around the eyes. And again, they make it for goofy women that spray this shit all over their face and neck, and nobody's going blind. Yeah, it just kills bad stuff. It's really like a magic potion. Yeah, I have one right. So I'm in the labs, but I'm in a computer gaming room, and I have a bottle of it that I got from Amazon, just an amber bottle that's 10 or 12 ounces. If somebody really cared, I could link it. It just sprays rather nice. Not all spray bottles spray the same. Some spray better and atomize smaller particles better. This is a nice, and it was cheap. A couple of dollars for a 2-pack. I'll show it for those of you looking at the cam here. This is the bottle. I don't know if you could see, yeah, you can see it. That it's half full, even though this is like a dark amber, you could see it's half full. And this sprays really, really, really nice. I've had shittier spray bottles. That one's particularly nice. But it's nice. I eat here over the desk, and I'm not a slob, and I don't drool and dribble and sneeze all over, but you never know. So it's nice to have. I just once in a while, in the air over the keyboard, the microphone, I'll lift the keyboard up. Directly below my face, where when I'm eating, maybe crumbs and stuff could potentially fall. And I'm not talking about I spend hours and hours and hours a day or week cleaning. This is a 1 second with the mister. That's it. Yes. And then I just let it air dry. I've never tried that. Yes, I wouldn't dunk the mouse in it, but mouses are fucking grimy and gross and disgusting. I spray it on the keyboard. I don't soak it. I don't pour the gallon. It's just with the spray, because your disgusting, sweaty, greasy fingers are touching the keyboard. So you could do that. You could wipe it if you want. The mouse, yes. Okay, so unless anything else is interesting, that's actually a good question. Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't bring it to work. They make spray bottles that instead of having a trigger with a hard R, like a Windex bottle, that is a pump with a cap. It's a different type of bottle. Yeah, you could easily bring one to. So here's what she asked. She said sometimes she gets cold at work, so she has a little sweater that stays at work. Let me make sure I read this. All right, I got the gist of it. And sometimes it's really hot, and it kind of sneaks up on you. They don't have good temperature control. She feels like sometimes a little sweat might get onto her sweater, and essentially it's such a slow process that you don't notice. It just stays there on the back of her chair when she goes home. And she's so used to it, she can't smell if it was to get dirty. Maybe other people can with a sensitive nose, possibly. Right, so she essentially said, could I just take this and just, like, hold the sweater up and just mist it lightly? Yes, I have done this. I haven't done it enough to know if it's safe on silk and nylons. Is it color safe? I can tell you, I'm just a dude, and I have randomly sprayed it in some things. I'm wearing a sort of jacket right now, I don't want to really say jacket. Somebody wrote N-word wearing a house coat. These white kids don't know what a house coat is. A house coat. Or a house dress. Yeah, so you could... I know somebody's upset I just cleared my throat. Yeah, so you could absolutely just kind of hold the sleeve open and just spray it in the armhole or where the armpit would be, or the whole thing. Just lay the thing on the chair and it will disinfect and defunk the whole thing. For 5 minutes, it will smell really fresh. Again, it's not offensive or like opening a can of bleach or something. But it'll go away. But yes, you could absolutely do that. 100% you could spray it in your shoes of all types. You could definitely spray it on the feet, and it will kill the funk. It's powerful. I've come back from the gym and been ripe, and just was about to go in the shower, and I was like, I would like to eat first, and I'm going to do a quick test. And just one little quarter of a spray on my armpits, wiggled my arms around, and, in the bathroom. And by the time I walked to the kitchen, however long that takes, a second or two, all of the smell was gone. Which is why I carry a couple of baby wipes in my chest rig. I might make another video about that. Maybe later today I'll make a chest rig vid. And now you'll know about the baby wipes when I tell you, look for a chest rig vid in the next day or two, maybe today. And I'm not going to talk about it at length, but I will show a little zippy bag with some folded up baby wipes with a little bit of liquid on them, and that's what it is. It's this hypochloric acid. Well, I never thought of that. I really want to end this because it's freaking late. So I'm assuming it's a she or a trans she. I don't know. Whatever. I don't even care. Whatever you are or think you are. She said, what about on fruits that sometimes have salmonella on it since it's safe? If it was me, personally, I would wash it with Dawn with disinfectant alcohol in it. There's a special Dawn, which is also a degreaser, which will get rid of all the poisons and waxes and oils, let's say, on an apple. That'll kill and remove everything. That said, if all I had was this, and maybe I was worried about salmonella or some other bacteria, yeah, you could spray an apple, let it sit just a few seconds, and I would rinse it off, personally. I'm sure you could just eat it, and there might be reasons to do that, but I would just very quickly rinse or wipe it off with like a paper towel. All right, people, anything else really good? I'm not gonna say that, but yes, I saw your vagina thing. I'm not gonna tell these fine people, but he referenced vaginas and fish, and I'm not gonna go into it. Not a giggle. How long for the smell to go away? I suppose if it's on an object, a table, very quickly, a couple of seconds. On your skin, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes. If you were to spray your sweater or jacket, so a good thing to do, like your winter jackets, ski jackets, whatever you wear, sometimes they're too hot. and it might be cold out, but your armpits or something is a little sweaty. This is fantastic for that without cleaning, you know, the whole coat. Just spray this in there, and if there's any funk, it will clean it. Just looking at questions, I've pretty much answered all of these already. How much hair growth? I'm not going to talk about that for a couple reasons in this vid, but you can look into that. I'm going to say this isn't dramatic. Like if you're balding quickly and you have male pattern baldness, this is not a magic potion where you spray it on and you wake up and it looks like new. You look. They used to sell this thing when I was a kid called a Chia Pet. Does anybody? None of you motherfuckers know what that was. It was like some little pig or horse or something, and you smeared this goo that was like grass. None of you motherfuckers know what I'm talking about. Look up Chia Pet. If you know what a Chia Pet is, leave me a message or a comment. I don't often ask for comments. Chia. None of you do not know what a Chia Pet is. Oh, he claims that they have other chia things. It's not something I've ever talked about except for right now. But it wouldn't shock me if you could get, I don't know, chia sailboats and dogs and cats. I have no idea. Oh my God. Not. Wait a minute. Let me hold on. This is going to be the last one. I have to end this. I'm very hungry. All right, so this person, I'm assuming, is a guy who seems to be very honest and real. I don't think this is a troll or a joke. This is actually kind of long. He essentially said, fast car, not everyone has an 8-pack. He says he has a 1-pack. He has a beer belly, and he's proud of it because he's a man. He's also hairy. Fast car has no body hair. I didn't even know that men had hair, like on their butts and chest, even senior year in high school. To this day, I'm smooth like a fucking dolphin. If you're in the hairy dudes, fast car's not for you. But he essentially said he has a gut, and there's a. I'm not going to scroll back up. There's a a flap of meat. I'm not reading this verbatim. He's got like a belly hangover, and there's a pouch, a kangaroo pouch under his belly of skin that evidently there is a funny part to this, is why I'm laughing, that gets sweaty and gross and it stinks and it smells like belly button. Do you know, I have never sprayed it in my belly button, but I'm gonna lay on my back and spray, because that is the funkiest thing if you got an indie. I don't care how clean you are. You stick your finger or a Q-tip and wiggle it around in your belly button, you're going to get smells you never knew existed. Yes, anyway, you could spray it in there and it would kill your... Is there a name for that? Fupa? I've never heard of that. Does anyone know Fupa? Is that a thing? I'll Google it after. Yes, I already talked about the feet. It will keep them nice. And the nails. I've never looked into this, and I don't have... Somehow I've escaped athletes my whole life. Being an athlete and being barefoot and wearing funky shit and being funky places. Somehow I've never gotten it. But as it is antimicrobial and bacterial and fungal, it will keep stuff off them or kill it. Foot fungus. I guess. But like I said, I've never had a problem with it. Women, as far as I know, don't wash their face with it. But I wouldn't be shocked if some of these kits that women buy from whoever the fuck makes this stuff, from a cosmetic counter, do they have a soap or a cleanser that has this in it? Probably. And then a mist and maybe some kind of, knowing nothing about what I'm talking about, cold cream, moisturizer. They might have it with this in it. I'm not going to Google it, but I suspect there's entire cosmetic lines that has this stuff in it. Yeah, this is way longer than I wanted it to be. I was hoping for 5 minutes. We're probably an hour. What am I drinking today? This right here. This is high quality filtered water. In fact, today my chef changed all the water filters that we use for cooking and drinking. Reverse osmosis, there's a couple on the fridge and other places, but they literally all got changed today. So it's delicious. And what am I eating? I'm not actually eating. You're talking about this right here? No, I did have some, I guess it would be yesterday. I really don't want to talk about this. I talked about snacks, I believe, the other day. Did I post that vid? I don't remember. I'm slappy at 6 in the morning. Someone got a bag. That's not true. Someone here got 2 bags of Schneider's of Hanover pretzels. Pretzel chips or chunks or something they're called. These are not whole pretzel shapes. It's like shards. Like if you took a pretzel and smashed it with your fist. A large pretzel. They have a ranch. What's your question? Yeah, I'm getting to that. They have a ranch flavor, or used to, which I was not a fan of. They have a honey mustard coated pretzel that's fucking delicious. And they have a cheddar cheese, which is, you asked what the orange. So that's what this is. I don't really eat too many snacks or junk. And like I said, I didn't buy this. Somebody just was like, here, you'll like this, and gave me a zippy bag. So I munched on some. But this is not something I would eat. But I do like it better than, say, Doritos or Funyuns or something. All your people make it seem like the shit on camera is like secret. the green. Here. The secret green bag that I'm hiding. It wasn't hiding, it's just when I put it down, that's how it was facing. Here, I'll put it right in the camera. Kirkland, Costco, shelled pistachios. This is not a pistachio video, but I will tell you nuts are very good for you, some more than others. I'm going to just give you number one. The number one superstar in the nut family is pistachio. Specifically Kirkland, because of the exact version they use, strain. They're the freshest and cleanest, and they're the nicest, and you don't have to peel them. They're peeled, and it comes in like a zippy bag. But the nutrients, the fiber, the protein, the vitamins, minerals, all of the macros and micros are unbelievable in pistachios. They're infinitely better than any chip or dumb snacky thing people eat while watching TV or gaming. If you don't have a nut allergy, you should eat pistachios. They are a superfood. All nuts are pretty good. The least good is probably the peanut, quite honestly, which is not really a nut. Second best, probably macadamia nut. And then a lot of them are pretty much the same. Brazil nuts are interesting, but they're very powerful. There's something in Brazil nuts. Someone just said the other name. I'm not going to say what some white people call Brazil nuts. White people are laughing right now if they know what I'm talking about. It's a naughty thing to say. There's a nutrient in Brazil nuts more than anything else known on planet Earth by hundreds of times. You could, in theory, overdose on this nutrient that's very important for you with a too many Brazil nuts. Don't be afraid to eat them. You can have a couple every day and you'll be fine. But yes, pistachio is absolutely the king of nuts, and if you can have them every day, you should. Plain, I actually like them in ice cream, which is something I don't eat very often, but if I do, I like to put half a handful in ice cream, and it's delicious. All right, people, I told you all about hypochloric acid. Yes, just go and Google it, and you should all have this. Everyone, no matter what your age is, this is just something you should have in your house. Oh, that's very interesting. Yes, but I would do it a different. So this, I'm ending on this no matter what. Can you clean your washer and dryer with it? Well, yes. Your dryer shouldn't be too funky or bacteria laden, although it does get wet shit in it that shoots all over, and I don't think it gets hot enough. It would be the inner workings that would probably be gross, but you could definitely spray some of this, in the drum or whatever, and close the door without a doubt. As far as the washing machine, yes, they're fucking disgusting. No one cleans the filters ever or takes them apart. If you took your washing machine apart, if it's more than a month old, no less years and years, you would probably want to vomit if you took it apart. I'm sure you could go to Google or YouTube and put clean my washing machine or something. And when you see what they look like, you'll be, the way most pros do it, if they don't take it apart, they run it with just water, with no clothing, and they put maybe 2 cups of bleach, and they run the longest cycle, because bleach wipes everything out. It's an oxidant. Any germs, bacteria, fungus, that it's going to whack, without a doubt. But don't do that with clothes in. Alright, so my 5-minute video turned out to be an hour, I'm sure. As always, if you have any questions, but definitely everyone that sees this, you should have this stuff. Preferably this brand. You can get one that's more expensive, but this one is great. And you should have it in your house. And you should use it for the things that I told you. Do you know, Fast Car, that grodiest thing in the house is actually your toothbrush? Not mine. I'm not going to get into why, but I have a procedure and mine is cleaned every day. But in general, yes, people have fucking disgusting toothbrushes. When you brush your teeth, it causes little micro injuries on your gums, and those bacteria get right in and can cause issues that you don't know came from brushing your teeth. Again, there's other ways you could do this, but yes, you could absolutely spray your toothbrush, let it sit a minute or two and rinse it off, and anything that was on there will be dead. Okay, so I'm going to end. And we had this, those of you that are on the cast here, you You guys got all the other good stuff. This was just for, yeah, my survival channel. I might even put it on the race channel. I'll cut something on what you can do with cars with this stuff. On my prepping channel, military channel, I'll talk about how preppers would use this. Yeah, I'll cut a slight. It'll literally be 5 to 8 minutes. I'll add it. But for boosted laser, this will be fine. I do have a wealth of interesting info. That wasn't a giggle. Why do I say what? Oh, that wasn't a giggle? Ugh. I really want to end this. I know this girl who's very wacky. She's probably smiling and even laughing right now. Let's just call her Fast Cat. I was going to give some minor information about her, but I'm not going to. Fast Cat is this bratty little annoying woman that I know who's a little crazy. And she says that I giggle when I make videos, which I don't because I'm 6'9", 330 jacked, and frankly, big men don't giggle. So if what you might hear is me clearing my throat or maybe coughing, and you could mistake it as giggling. Now, what she will do, just because you asked, if I make a spoken video like this, she will tell me on Discord, I watched your video about hypochlorous acid, and then for some reason she has a lot of, we used to call them GIFs, memes with cats. Sometimes they're stills, but often they're moving with, they dance or they do eye things. There's 7 bajillion cat GIFs. And there's one known as Giggle Cat, who you don't get to see. And if I giggle on a video, she'll just link me this stupid cat, and it drives me bananas, and I think she knows that. So shout. Oh, that wasn't a giggle. I was coughing. I was clearing my throat. Damn it. I'm going to get a giggle cat. Okay, people, enjoy. What are you going to have for breakfast? Oh, God. You guys kill me. You always ask me this when I'm ready to leave. Oh, I know you're going to ask about dinner. So we like pea soup here, split pea soup with ham. And also there's some little potatoes cut up in it. He dices potatoes and all the herbs and spices. It's the best pea soup you will ever have in your life, by far. And I actually had someone else's today that was good and better than most, but not like ours. It's an all-day thing when Chef Jim makes it. Not all day, but it's a good 6 or 8 or 10 hours for him to make it. And we always have real ham. Usually he cuts it off the bone, renders it, makes whatever shape he wants for the soup, and puts it in. I wound up with a bigger than I thought. So if we make 2 bags of split pea, and if you've never made pea soup, you might go, that's not that much. It makes a huge pot of soup, believe me. I really don't want to talk about soup. I should just do a video. Anyway, people use a little bit of ham. Let's say they make a gallon of soup. They'll use a smattering of ham, a little bit. If they make 2 gallons, they maybe would use a pound of ham. The last few batches we've been using more and more. There's probably a point where it's too much. But I wound up with a grass-fed, no antibiotic, no steroid pre-cooked ham from a ranch that's of very high quality. And I thought it was going to be maybe 2.5 or a little bit more pounds. And it turned out it was almost 6, which is a lot of ham for 2 bags. So he got some more split peas, in the bag, the dehydrated little. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to use 3 or 4 bags, but it's going to make. I saw the pot he's going to use. It's several gallons. Probably 90% of that ham is going in the soup, and the rest he cut into, let's say, little steaks, and he made breakfast sandwiches with this fucking amazing ham and egg and cheese on a toasted English muffin rather than bacon or Spam or something like actual real ham. This has no fat in it. It's tender as fuck. It's the best ham I've ever had, period. But anyway, so you're wondering about dinner. That's for dinner today. I know that for a fact. Like a late lunch or dinner, depending when he starts it. It's going to be amazing. And then there'll be plenty of leftovers. In fact, we got some more little Tupperware containers for single servings, maybe 12 or 18 ounce, somewhere in there. It's more than 12. In fact, it could be 24 ounces. It's about like a bowl of soup, these Tupperwares we got. And he'll make, I don't know, 14 or 16 of them for the freezer. And then we'll probably have, besides what we're going to eat today, 6 maybe in the refrigerator. And even though I forbid it because I'm what's called the soup Nazi, this was a skit on a show none of you saw called Seinfeld before any of you were born. And I told him we don't share the soup. And I tell him, he's like, but what about this old man that helped us out and did us this favor? And I tell him he's not soup worthy. And that guy, there's only one person, High Voltage, who I think is soup worthy. In fact, I'm gonna do something live right now. I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do this because you are my N-words. Is he even up? Well, we're gonna find out. I can't believe I'm about to do this. This is a very famous military guy and famous person, but none of you will know him. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome human being and cool as fuck. Hopefully I'm not waking him up. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Hi, you reached Jesse. I can't get their phone right now, but if you leave your name and your phone number, I'll call you back as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Yo, High Voltage. It's White Funky. I'm on YouTube right now making a video and audio. Everyone's hearing this. I hope I didn't wake you up. We are making world's greatest split pea soup with the best ham in the world. Oh, he's calling me back right now. Oh, how do I do this? Let me hang this up. Oh, hello? Oh, crap. What just happened?
What up? Good morning time, brother.
I was just leaving. Hey, I only got a second. Just so you know, you're live on YouTube. People are seeing and hearing this.
Live on YouTube, wow.
Yeah, so,
Thank you for inviting me on a Diamond Dave talk show. It's Friday, too. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, so Chef Jim is making, I don't know if you've ever heard about it, his world famous pea soup today. And
Ooh.
I got us a near 7 pound ham. It's going to be the hammiest pea soup ever. So I was
Wow.
calling to see, do you like pea soup?
I can have a little bit of it. It usually runs through me like crazy because it's so much fiber, but I'll definitely have a little bit of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've turned down about a dozen people he wanted to share it with, including Ed the lawyer, and
Oh,
I've told Jim that they're not pea soup. They're not ready for it, but they're not good enough to have it.
okay.
And the only person that was pure of soul that we like enough was Jesse High Voltage. So you're soup worthy, and I was telling people online that High Voltage is the only person that's soup worthy. So I was calling to tell you that you're the only one on the list.
Okay. All right. Cool. You push the button, man. You never push the button. Huh? You never push the button to gas it up.
By the way,
Right.
ooh, what's that beeping?
Trying to get gas at a gas station. You got me at a bad time, man.
Oh, I'll get back to you. I'll put the speak spoke on you later.
All right. All right, Dave. Bye.
I'll put it on you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting slappy. Anyway, High Voltage, soup worthy. Is there anyone on Guild Wars that's soup worthy? Oh. Anyone on Guild Wars? I'm gonna say everybody from Guild Warg, all of them, is soup worthy. I'm gonna say the boys that I'm grouped with from Crew, especially Necro Tushy, but all of them, they are soup worthy. Sad Squid, soup worthy. Candy Guzzler, World Soul, soup worthy. I mean, you gotta be pretty tight. Yeah, Flex is soup worthy, no doubt. Definitely Pepe. Number one would be Pepe, who's my main man from my guild and my server. He's going through some trials and tribulations right now with his heat. Shout out to Frog. Yeah, there's a couple others that are soup worthy. It's so good. It's just you got to be almost angelic to be worthy of the split pea and ham. So even just Jim's cooking in general. Oh no, that wasn't. Oh, you caught me. Somebody else knows about giggling. That was. I was coughing. That was not a giggle. Yeah, that was lunch or dinner. Breakfast. What will I have for breakfast today? I think I'd like to have an orange. So I'll have an orange. I finished that. You know, I don't know. I usually have a clear path of breakfast. I'm not sure what I feel like. I've had such a clean, perfect macro breakfast so many days in a row. I almost feel like something fun just to mix it up. That I would never normally have for breakfast, like loaded tater tots. Like crispy tater tots flat on a plate with some kind of meat on them, like if you were making nachos. And then 5 cheese blend and sour cream. This is something I would normally not eat, but that, and maybe an orange. Just for some, look, I enjoy life. My diet's tight normally, but you do have to live. That's funny. Oh my god, it's 7 o'clock. Are you kidding me? How long is this video? Oh my god, it's like an hour and 20. By all means, you can message me in the game, always, of course, on YouTube, or you can, in map chat, team chat, send me a mail. You can apply, or you can just ask me if you're soup worthy, pea soup worthy, split pea and ham worthy, and I will let you know. But, don't get mad. Be ready. Maybe you're not. Why does his name. I have to end on this thought. Why does his name always come up? Would you share with Nudie? You know what? I would share. I don't think his country has split pea and ham soup, so it would be kind of neat just for him to experience something. Look, he lives out, it's. First of all, Australia is a third world country. And they have the weirdest animals there and the deadliest. I don't know. Nudie probably eats spider goulash and wombat burgers and salties, mate. Weird spiders, and bugs. I don't know what Australians eat. I don't know Nudie. I don't know what he eats, but I feel like he eats weird kangaroo. I feel like they don't have regular China. Like, you can't get General Tso's chicken in Australia. I feel like it's kangaroo, mate. But yes, I would share soup with Nudie. I would give him a nice bowl and a pat on his head. All right, but yes, feel free to message me if you're split pea soup. You could just ask, am I soup worthy? I'll know which soup you're talking about. All right, I gotta go. I'm starving and I'm thirsty. No shout outs. Oh man, that water is so pure and so cold. What was clunking around? The iceberg. I've talked about this. I really gotta go. I'll just show you in the camera here. Let me get real close. Okay. Normal people maybe have ice in like those old school 70s and 80s plastic trays. A lot of them are blue. I don't like the blue ones. They're too small. Some people have a freezer, that has an ice machine where small, often half moon shapes, sometimes they're round, come out. These melt too quickly for me, and when you're drinking, they bump into your teeth and you gotta kind of strain. I just don't like that. So my custom fast car ice maker doesn't make ice cubes, it makes icebergs. They're about the size of a standard Coke or Coke can. One big cube. And in my giant cup you see here that's over 6. No, that's not true. It's 1, 2, 3. Is that right? It's about 3 liters. A Coke can in a 3-liter cup is not, it doesn't fill it up. But because it's insulated, it could last 2 or maybe even 3 days. But yes, fast car doesn't, I do everything big. So I have icebergs. If you've ever heard me talk about it, or even the chef, he'll ask how my water is or my drink, and I might say I need a new iceberg. Now you know what that is. All right, I gotta go, people, no matter what. My 5-minute video's like an hour and a half. Legend.